Okay, so welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are talking about Jil Sander's collaboration with Uniqlo. But before I continue, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Fashion Roadman. And if you want to support the channel, of course, you can buy these beautiful tote bags to my right. The link to buy these tote bags are in the description below. So, for some background knowledge, Jil Sander is a German fashion designer. She founded her namesake label in 1968, but she wasn't really prominent in fashion until the 80s and the 90s, when she was part of the big minimalism movement, especially in the 90s with the likes of brands like Prada and Helmut Lang. There's actually a documentary, I don't know what specifically it's called, a house under her name, and she actually supports the work of Luke and Lucy Meyer, who I'm a big fan of, the current creative directors of Jil Sander, and she's a big fan of them as well. So, to talk about the Uniqlo and Jil Sander collaboration now, the funny thing about this collaboration is it has absolutely nothing to do with Jil Sander, the brand. So, Jil Sander, the designer, sold her brand to Prada Group, which means that she no longer owns the right to use that name in any sort of business way. Of course, it's still her name, but in a business term, Prada owns her name, which is really strange. So the collaboration with Uniqlo is called Plus J, and that's completely separate to Jil Sander, the brand. It's more a collaboration with Jil Sander, the woman, and Uniqlo. And in 2009, of course, that was when we had a big financial crash and the financial downturn, and many different designers reacted to this financial crash in many different ways. We saw people like Rei Kawakubo and Comme des Garçons Black that was supposed to bring Comme des Garçons staples at a more affordable price. So Jil Sander's way of tackling this was actually collaborating with Uniqlo at the time, and she wanted to offer kind of a collection of clothing that everyday people can wear, with a focus on trying to get luxurious fabrics at an affordable price that people can wear over and over again. And really what she was focused on was pieces that are versatile, because obviously in economic downturn, people didn't have loads of money to spend on fashion. So what she's done is made pieces that go with a lot of things, so they don't have to buy too much and they last the test of time. And there are many fashion editors that still boast about the first Jil Sander Uniqlo collab, and they still own pieces from them because the quality was actually good and they're so timeless and you always find a way to wear them. So after the first collaboration with Uniqlo, Jil Sander did many other collaborations before she stopped. So moving to the present day, this current Plus J collaboration with Uniqlo actually has not been done for so many years, which is why there's such a huge buzz. And Jil Sander actually has been in contact with Uniqlo the whole time, and they were always constantly bugging her that they want her to create a new collection, but she thought that she didn't really have anything to add to fashion, and currently she feels like she has something to add to the industry, so that's why she's back. And I think it's kind of interesting that she started this collaboration in the last economic downturn, and now definitely with everything that's happening now, we're definitely going to go into a recession again. And it's in times of recession that she comes with very affordable pieces. I find that quite interesting. And to quote something she actually said, "It gives me such joy to think that many people will be able to buy these pieces. If I could have done a high street collection of this quality 50 years ago, I probably would have, but it wasn't possible. The technology and the fabrications weren't available." So obviously, Jil Sander, from what I've read about her and what I know about her, is her design aesthetic to me can kind of be compared with Chanel in the way that it's very wearable, it's very minimal, it's made to be comfortable, it's made to be versatile. However, Jil Sander is definitely more chic, and there's more tailoring, and there's more, I'd say Jil Sander is definitely more complex than Chanel, in my personal opinion, in terms of the actual designs. Because in the 90s, when I think of Jil Sander clothing, what made it amazing was really the shapes and the silhouettes and how the garments moved. And those are very, very complicated things to achieve. It takes a lot of tailoring skill, whereas Chanel was just more kind of like sporty vibes that became popular because obviously the marketing of Chanel is just absolutely fantastic. But yeah, there are definitely similarities and you can draw parallels between those two designers. And in interviews, I've actually read that Jil Sander wanted to contrast the Uniqlo collaboration with her namesake brand. So her namesake brand is more about artistic development, fabric development, trying to come up with new shapes, new ways of garments moving. Whereas the Uniqlo collaboration really was just about how can I get the best fabric for the cheapest price so that a wide customer base can get these kind of cuts at a cheaper price point. So that for two completely different things. Like her brand, her namesake brand is more artistic. Uniqlo brand is very utilitarian in the way it's designed and in her thought process for designing the collection. And reading my notes here actually, for this 2020 collaboration with Uniqlo, Jil Sander actually developed new fabrics, including a merino wool cashmere hybrid and a technical gabardine with a papery finish, which is quite interesting because like I said, that quote that she said where she was talking about how back 50 years ago the technology and the fabrications weren't available that there are now, because I feel like she's had this sort of want to get really, really high quality products at a lower price point for a mass market, and she just felt like maybe that wasn't available, which is why she had to go the luxury route and her brand became so expensive and inaccessible. The vibe I get from just reading books about her and reading interviews about her is she actually does not like that. She doesn't like that aspect to her brand, that it's so exclusive because of the price point, which is quite interesting. Jil Sander actually got inspiration for this collection after gardening for a while. And if you guys didn't know, Jil Sander is a very skilled gardener. She's known to like plant trees and make all sorts of fancy gardens. And she said that the main reason why was because the way she gardens, it's not just like watering a couple plants, it's very intense, but she likes to look nice as she's doing it. So she wanted clothing that is utilitarian in a way where you can actually wear it and do tasks and be comfortable. And this is where the parallel once again comes with Chanel, because the mindset is kind of similar. And to quote what she said about this, Jil Sander said, "I thought a lot about what we need now, comfort, right? But at the same time, everyone's talking about the importance of getting out into nature. That's one positive. So I've designed some very practical and warm pieces you could wear in the garden. For instance, the down coat, but also a wool shirt jacket in a kind of grey khaki. I continue to work on basic items like the navy coat or the white shirt, and alter them according to material innovation, contemporary proportions and cuts. This ongoing redesign process is like a study of time. If you like the new version better, to me that's the essence of modernity. Since attractive clothes are not only about quality and classic cuts, they also ought to express the zeitgeist." And that was an amazing quote from Women's Wear Daily. They interviewed Jil Sander for this collection. Now, there's so much to unpack and what she said. I mean, first thing she said was that if you like the new version better, to me, that's the essence of modernity. Now, why that's so important is, once again, Jil Sander talks about how 50 years she wished that she could create fabrics at such a affordable price point that she can now with Uniqlo, because Uniqlo has this amazing infrastructure and all those things, right? So I find it very interesting that she has a very pinpointed focus on making sure that her fabrics consistently improve, and she consistently works on the quality of the fabrics to the point where she said that if you like the new version better, to me that's the essence of modernity. And I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing because she said she continues to work on basic items like the navy coat or the white shirt and alters them according to material innovation, which means, so as better materials come out through the years, she's making kind of the same pieces just with better fabrics and different materials that you can use for different applications. I think that's amazing. To the point where she's basically saying that you're gonna have to keep rebuying my pieces because they get better and better and better. I think that's amazing. And I know Jil Sander, once again, from things I've read about her, she hates people looking to the past. She absolutely despises it, which is quite funny. That, obviously, I don't have an opinion on that, but she's very obsessed with like modernity and like moving forward and futurism and not looking back and looking for material innovation and things like that, which is quite interesting because she definitely brings that point across through her work. And I have one more quote to read where Jil Sander is basically talking about why she decided to design now, because obviously she hadn't had a collaboration with Uniqlo for so many years. So what she said was, "I never stopped designing in my head. Now I felt ready. I wanted to react to disposable fashion. I believe in designs I would wear myself. This has been the driving energy since my beginnings when I found nothing to perform with as a businesswoman." And once again, you guys can, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you guys can see the parallels with Chanel. She literally said, "This has been the driving energy since my beginnings when I found nothing to perform with as a businesswoman." The same way Chanel kind of wanted to fill a void in terms of comfort is the same way Jil Sander did, but on a kind of more, to me, cerebral level. So what I'm going to do now is get my phone and kind of just go through all the looks in the lookbook and then just give my thoughts. I think there are 25 menswear looks and 32 womenswear looks. Now it's important to note that the reason for me making this video is because I'm just a fan of Jil Sander's work. I kind of wanted to give a wider context to this collaboration with Uniqlo so that people understand what's going on in future collaborations. As far as today, so like I said, today is the 12th of November. It released today, and it released at 7 a.m. today, and it's sold out in a lot of places. So by the time you guys watch this, which might be 2 days after the release, there'll probably be nothing left. So I just wanted to clarify, the point of this video is not like some marketing video for the collection, it's just to give you a wider context. Okay, so women's look. So first, obviously, white shirt. Not really much to it. It's like, the thing about this stuff is like, we've seen all these cuts before and these silhouettes. They're just amazing cuts that you could never get at this price point if it wasn't a Uniqlo collab. So there isn't much to see other than me just really showing you what's in the collection. But what I find more interesting is how she said that she's developing new fabrics and she's always improving her white shirt. So I think these are more the type of things that I need to be able to feel in person, to kind of get a sense of how nice it really is. A nice wool coat, a puffer jacket. In this collection, there are a few puffer jackets actually. Okay, now double-breasted coat. I really like it. I like also how boxy the shape is. It's not an ultra feminine shape, is it? That being that boxy. I know this jacket with the straps and stuff, a lot of people wanted this. I think this was like one of the things that really sold crazy this morning. Yeah, and then the fact that you can fasten the collar in that way, people found it quite interesting. Okay, so so a blazer and a long puffer. Interesting. A roll neck, 3 different colors. Is that supposed to be like a trompe l'oeil, or however you pronounce it? It seems like it's supposed to be. Okay, this shirt is just a striped shirt. Not really, I'm looking at the silhouette, it's not really too different to anything I've seen before. But interesting. Okay, another couple of nice blazers. Oh, that's really nice. So this is kind of like a shorter, more cropped, sort of almost blazer looking version of that wool coat. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. That's really cool. Because the thing is, I haven't actually seen all these looks. I've just seen some of them on Instagram, which is why I wanted to come on YouTube and react to it live. But this is probably my favorite look from this whole collection so far, at least. This is really nice. And then obviously the skirt That's really chic. This navy puffer jacket, I like that it has a collar. It makes it look more chic than just an average puffer jacket. So that's a really nice touch. That's really chic. Then some like roll neck dresses. Okay, so I mean, if I was a woman, there is nothing I would really buy from this collection because they're all just stuff you could get really from anywhere. I know Jil Sander said obviously the fabric innovation, but seeing is believing, so I have to feel it. But I will say that like cropped coat, what she called it? It's called a double face stand collar jacket. That's amazing. I find that absolutely amazing. Okay, I want to look at the men's looks because obviously that's what concerns this channel. Most of the audience, we are men. Okay, let's have a look. I remember from what I saw on Instagram though, the women's looks were like better than the men's by far. So okay, a white down coat, water-tailored jacket. Menswear in general, I don't want to be like negative, but menswear in general never interests me. It's always so basic, it's unbelievable. Like, I love this. This down jacket does have a interesting silhouette. Normally, down jackets either have like a collar or they're kind of short. They end at the collarbone and then they have a hood. I like how this goes like up all the way to the chin. That's very unique, especially in menswear. But like this Supima cotton oversized long sleeve shirt, I swear like you could get that at Uniqlo. I don't know, man. I don't know. Then, okay, a shirt, Supima cotton shirt, merino blend turtleneck, chino pants, nothing really that great. Wool blend Chester coat. I mean, at the end of the day, from the way these looks are fitting on the models, they definitely, there's a very elegant cut to it that obviously is Jil Sander like, but not quite. It's almost like leaning more to Uniqlo with a dash of Jil Sander, especially with the menswear. The women's wear is way better, and we might go back to that. But the menswear is just like cashmere sweaters, and I know she was saying, of course, that she was just trying to get really good fabrics at an affordable price, which I do appreciate because you're not going to get cashmere, you know, even though it is a blend, but still you're not going to get that for such a low price, especially in collaboration with Jil Sander, unless it's a Uniqlo collab. Oversized coat, down jacket, some chino pants. Yeah, let me look through these quickly because I don't think there's anything that's really going to interest me. Full zip. And I remember looking at it on Instagram. Nothing was really tickling my fancy in this collection, to be very honest. The white shirt, we see another white shirt that Jil Sander said she's improving every season. Quite interesting. Cardigan, cotton crew neck. That looks quite cool. This hybrid down oversized parka, I like the shape of it. That's very unique. That's actually a really nice silhouette. Actually, I take it back when I said that all of the menswear is bad. So the two pieces I've seen from menswear that I like is this hybrid down oversized parka, and then of course the white, what was it called? Down volume hooded coat, because of how it goes up to like almost the chin area. I think that's really, really unique. I've seen it before, but it's elegant. I like it. Okay, more down coats. It's just, I don't know, obviously it has to be commercial, but with Jil Sander, I don't just want to see like a cashmere blend sweater that looks like this. I want to see a more interesting silhouette. Like I want the shape to be a bit more interesting because it just looks too Uniqlo-esque for a Jil Sander collab, in my opinion. Yeah, that's just my thoughts. This look, there's not really that much to it. Okay, interesting. This is actually, okay, now we're getting into the Jil Sander shapes. Especially with this like bomber jacket. This is amazing. I like this. This is really nice. Okay, so there are tad bits here and there in this collection that I do like, but in general, like just looking at it, work jacket, yeah, it's just a bit plain. But then again, that's how menswear is for the most part, which I've never liked. But going to the women's, there's a bit more substance to it. Like with it, from just going through these looks with you guys, it seems to me like the women's wear has a very strong Jil Sander DNA to it, whereas the menswear to me just looks like any other Uniqlo collection, apart from a few pieces, which is sad. Like, especially when you're like so excited for a Jil Sander collaboration with Uniqlo, and I know it's supposed to be accessible